Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV. So let's talk about episode 2 of Themba's reality show, Themba My Inked World. Okay, we had episode 2 last week. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Okay, so listen, there are scenes on this show that I feel they're not interesting enough, and sometimes we feel like they're just shooting them to just have a scene, and mostly it's the scenes that Themba is shooting with his friends, because they just keep on talking about this tattoo shop, but the conversation is not moving forward. So sometimes it feels like they are just shooting for the sake of shooting. So I'm not going to talk about those scenes much because I don't feel like they're interesting. I don't feel like they bring anything interesting to the show. And I don't know what to discuss as far as those scenes are concerned. But you guys, I feel like Themba wants us to know that he's not being allowed to see his kids. That is Imposed kid, okay, Imposed baby. He hasn't seen his baby. He doesn't know the baby's name, and he really is trying to convince us that, listen, I'm a good father and I will be there for my kid. It's just that I'm not allowed to get close to her or see her or be that father that I feel like I could be. And of course, his friends are supporting him in that, okay? I do feel like, you guys, I wish that his friends would get real with him, because my issue with Themba is that it's not right for him to not be allowed to see his kid, but at the same time, he has two other kids that he doesn't see much, even though he has free access to them. As far as I understand, Nqobile has, free access card for him. He can come at any time and see the kids. He can even go there and help her out with the kids, because he doesn't really have a 9 to 5. So there's no reason that he can't go there, for an example, help her out when she's preparing kids for school. There's no reason why he can't go there and take care of the kids while Nqobile is at school, because Ngo has, I think she counted 3 jobs. She hosts, she's a DJ, there's something else that she counted. There's no reason why he's not doing that, but he's not doing it. So I kind of feel like I want to feel sorry for him that he's not being allowed to see his kid, but I'm like, maybe even if he was allowed, you would have seen this child once, judging from how many times he has seen the kids that he is allowed to see. So it's very hard for me to be on his side as far as that is concerned. But on this episode, you guys, he finally goes to Nqobile's place to see the kids. Okay, he has a boy and a girl. And listen, kids don't lie, okay? They don't lie, even with their reactions. And when he comes, they are not that excited. Remember, they haven't seen him in a while. He even went overseas. He came back. Instead of going straight to where they live and seeing them, he calls them just to tell them that he's back. So I don't even know how many days it's been since he's back. But his kids are old enough to know our father is back, but he hasn't come to see us. But he's already gone and see his friends, so he's able to see his friends. He makes the time to see his friends, but he his kids are not priority, because he takes time before he sees the kids after being overseas, okay? So I feel like the kids can see that their father is not spending enough time with them. He's not around enough, so they're not even excited to see him, especially the boy, you guys. They were just not impressed at all, okay? They just came in, greeted him, and I'm like, these kids don't see their father. I felt like that. It felt like they're not that close, okay? And so Nqobile started talking about how she feels like Umpendulo, the boy, is really struggling at school. She's been having issues at school. She feels like Umpendulo needs professional help. He needs to go and see somebody. And Themba is like, no, he's a boy, so he does not need to see somebody. As a boy, sometimes we struggle with certain things, but he does not need to go see a therapist or something, which was frustrating for Nqobile. Mind you, you guys, when he comes, he's not bringing anything. He did say he's bringing them clothes, but we didn't see them. When he's entering the house, Ulengisi izandla njena, and Nqobile was asking for money. I don't know what answer he gave. So from everything that we see, you guys, it just looks like Nqobile is raising those kids alone. So I'm like, well, maybe it was going to be the same situation with Umpo anyway. So what would be the point, really? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Then Nqobile does mention that Themba does not speak to the kids. He does not speak to the kids, and so they are not used to him. So meaning that he doesn't call them. Not only does he not see them much, he doesn't call them. And so maybe that phone call that we saw was because he was shooting the show. So it's very sad to watch, you guys. And yeah, I don't know. Because people will not want you to say somebody is a deadbeat when somebody is around, but it's like, as long as you're around, even if it's just once a year, then you're a present dad. But that's not how it works, because you can't just be around like once a month or once in 3 months and then you're a present dad. Also, I think Nqobile indicated that he does send her money, even though she's not saying how much or how often he does send her money. And she feels like when he sends the money, he thinks that's all that he needs to do, and then he just goes on with his life. That's another thing, you guys, that if a father just sends money, then people will be in their feelings if you say this dad is not present, because the dad is not present. They might send money, but the kids need more than that from their father, So I don't know, you guys. I feel bad for those kids. Then Ungo did have like a sit down with her friend. I think they were just going out. And honestly, you guys, I think she said Ulelo no Mulebo, the friend. I think she has a good friend in that girl, because that girl, from what I saw and had in their conversation, is that she's very supportive. And also, she was calling her out with this thing of Nqobile making excuses for Themba, because I think Nqobile, if she really had to sit down and honestly tell us how her parenting is like with Themba, it's worse than she is revealing. And she did say, you guys, that she's always trying to not speak about Themba in a bad way because of her kids, but also just because of both their reputation. So now her friend is like, listen, you need to call Themba, sit him down, and he needs to understand that he needs to help you more, because she has been seeing her struggle with these kids a lot, okay? She's the one that has to make sure the kids eat, they are clothed, they go to school, all of that, while she has to do all of these jobs at the same time. They talked about how the kids have changed schools so many times. I don't know why that is, if that's because she was moving a lot and so she had to change Iskole Sabantwana. And she's feeling like right now the school that they're in is not working for Pendulo, but she's already feeling like they've changed schools too much. So she's like, she's not sure whether to leave him there or not, you guys. Now, it does get emotional, because I think the point that Nqobile was trying to make was, listen, it does not matter if I talk to Themba. Themba is always going to give me the minimum that he's giving me, and I have to accept that that's all he's going to ever give me. And I have to be okay with him not giving enough. I have to be okay with that, because that's all you're going to get from Themba. I think Themba is one of those fathers that think they are doing their absolute best when they are absolutely doing their bare minimum in fathering the kids. But because he never had his dad there, for him, he's like the best dad, because he comes once in 2 months to see the kids, and maybe he pays the maintenance once in 3 months, then he must be the best dad, because his dad was never around. So what's better? What's better, a dad that was never around, or a dad that is there sometimes, okay? And that the friend was saying, listen, you're making excuses for Themba, and you don't need to do that. This is a lot. It's a lot for you to be taking care of 2 kids alone, and he needs to help you more. It's not like I don't like him as a person, but he needs to help you more. And Nqobile was emotional, you guys, because I don't think it's easy for you as a mom to be doing things alone, but not wanting people to know that you're doing things alone. Because this person is a public figure and you are trying to protect him because he is the father of your kids. So you don't want to say anything bad about him, but you know for sure that he's definitely not helping you enough. So it's like you're protecting somebody that doesn't even really protect you much, okay? Even when he comes, you guys, he keeps saying things like, he said that he was bringing the clothes for the kids when he comes to see the kids. And then he says, I brought you something too, but don't think that this is us. It's just a present as a friend. He keeps making comments as if Ngo wants him to come back. And I'm like, I hope Ngo doesn't want him back, because Themba is not a good boyfriend. We saw him with Mpho. He doesn't know how to boyfriend. He does not know how to boyfriend. Anyway, you guys, I do feel like Ngo has a point, you guys, and say there are people that this person is never gonna give me more than he is giving me. So do I spend time trying to convince him that he needs to work on being a good father, or do I just take what he's giving me? But taking what he's giving you then means you are going to do more than you are required as a mother, because there's one person that doesn't do their part. So you will do more. As mothers, we already do more even when a person is present. So now with somebody that comes just when they're shooting the show, for an example, I just feel like that, you guys. I feel like that. Maybe he does see his kids a little bit more, but it felt like he just really doesn't go there much. So now it's hard to accept, because this is it, because then it just feels, then you have to accept that you are a single mother that is not really a single mother, because the person is there, but they're just not doing it, or they're not doing enough. Anyway, you guys, that's all that was interesting in this episode. I feel like I thought that we were going to see Paul and her family. Remember, they had showed us in the preview that Themba's family, Auntie Georgina, with his mom, were going to go and see Mpho's family, so that they can talk about seeing the child. I thought we were going to see this episode. I really don't see where the conversations with friends and all of that are going. But maybe I just need to watch a little bit more to see, why they are even on the show. Because, anyway, let me just watch the show a little bit more just to understand it. But all of the scenes that he's shooting with the friends when they're recording, there's nothing like of value that I feel like, the show is about Themba's life, and that's some of the things that he's doing in his life, but it's not interesting enough on the show, Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about on episode 2 of My Inked World. Tell me what you think about this episode in the comment section. Like it before you make a video, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Cool.